was it like studying GSP? Because you're obviously thinking, I'm going to win this tournament, and GSP is going to be the guy I'm fighting, but he's here in a coach format as well. So was it a bit awkward as well from your perspective?
Hold on, I got ADD. It's the great Chuck down. Yeah, fucking Chuck. Sorry, people.
Legends of the
That's
game.
literally what happens in my brain when I think. Is that my outside voice? Did I say it? Go ahead. What was the question again?
So it was a bit difficult for you because obviously GSP was coming in there trying to drop some knowledge, but you're in a position where you win the tournament, you're going to fight him.
Yeah, nah, to be honest with that whole show, I went on there with the attitude of this. It's an 8-man tournament. You lose one fight, you're out. I was already teaching jiu-jitsu for a living. I go, look at it like a 6-week training camp. I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna take it a fight at a time. If I do well, great. If something goes south, at least with the reality show, people get to know me a little bit, maybe I'll get some more students, you know? So, with that laid back attitude, I wasn't thinking I'm gonna win this thing, I'm gonna fight George. I'm thinking a fight at a time. You don't know who you're fighting in that show. So, you know, I take it a fight at a time. Worst comes to worst, I go back, I teach my jiu-jitsu. I don't put too much pressure on myself, you know?
Did the mind not switch when you was actually fighting George? Were you still just very relaxed, just like whatever's going to happen is going to happen? Or did you go in there with the pure intent, nothing's going to stop me from defeating George?
The fight with George. No, you know what? It's all about the mentality. Like I knew I kind of had an ace up, a card on my sleeve where everybody thought I was going to try to grapple George because I was known for my jiu-jitsu. I knew I had heavy hands from sparring, you know what I mean? And I was yet to show it. Maybe in one fight I knocked down Caro, but I was yet to really just rely on my stand-up. So I knew that George fought better wrestlers than myself. Not better fighters, I would say, 'cause, you know, pretty proud with that. But like guys like straight up wrestling, Frank Trigg, Short Shirt, Matt Hughes, Mayhem Miller, these guys all better, the bigger and stronger, better at getting the fight to the floor. They couldn't get him down. So I knew that if I tried to get George down, it was going to be a rough night. So I didn't know I was going to take him out and lay him out and beat him on my feet, but I had the mentality of a him or me mentality. So I knew, so that's very freeing. So knowing it's a 5-round fight, but have no intention of going 5 rounds, putting yourself out there, to hurt somebody, you got to be there to get hurt. So I knew I was willing to be there, to put myself in the fire, to hurt George, even though I'd be willing to get hurt. And the sparring paid off, and to be honest, it felt like really, it felt like a good night of sparring, a good day of sparring. Like it just felt on, things were clicking. So, you know.
Do you remember what was going through your brain the first time that you rocked George?
You know, I had a fight prior, you know, to George that actually got me into the Ultimate Fighter. It's a fight I lost to Carol Parisian, where I did a rolling right to start the fight. I dropped him, and then I went, you know, a little ballistic trying to put him away. Instead of just lining up my shots, he weathered the storm, and I ended up getting tired, and I lost that fight. So I took a lot from that. And my coach, Ray Longo, the great Ray Longo, he told me, when you get someone hurt, half a second, line up the shot. Take the time, line it up, line up the shot, and then go. Don't just go caveman. So, you know, that's what I did. So I lined up my shots when I had him in trouble, and I didn't really process it was over until it was over. You know what I mean? So,
getting that belt put round your waist, you understood the magnitude of that, best in the world at the welterweight category. I'm guessing you didn't sleep that night, man. I bet it was absolutely unbelievable feeling. What was it like being the champion?
Well, my after party was basically me in my hotel room, and I made my guys, you know, all the guys flew out from New York, and we were in Texas. I go, listen, man, Texas ain't known for its fucking pizza, but you guys gotta find me pizza. I have not had any marinara sauce in 2 months. Do something. I just shocked the world. Could you find me a slice? Can I have I'll take Domino's, I'll take the effing Olive Garden, find me something with marinara sauce, or I'm gonna be hitting somebody else. It was kind of like that.
You fought both GSP and Matt Hughes in your career in their prime. Who would you say was a tougher opponent for yourself?
Between Matt and George? Well, to be fair, I mean, Matt in his prime, me and Matt are the same age, so we fought each other at the same stages of our career, but George was in his prime. I mean, that was the new, like, fighter 2.0 type stuff, you know what I mean? The new MMA complete fighter. So honestly, George is, you know, the more complete type fighter, you know what I mean? So, yeah, George.
How were you responding to losses in your career? Because, like I said yesterday, this is a sport where you're not going to get Floyd Mayweather. You're not going to get someone that's going to go out with an undefeated record. We've currently got John Jones, which is the only guy doing it at the high level. But the best fight the best, year in, year out. Sometimes someone's going to get your number. How did you respond to a loss mentally?
How would I respond to a loss? Shoot, man, I got enough of them. So, not that you get used to it, but you got to look at it's all about the mentality. So if you look at my record, man, I got losses to BJ Penn, Dean Thomas. I mean, there's a bunch more, but a lot of, like, those two fights easily could have went the other way. You know what I mean? So it's like, I knew I could hang with all these guys. Like, I fought the best of the best, and every one of them knew they were in a fight. So it's not like I'm going out there getting smoked. I never had to tap. I never had to say uncle. Hey, listen, I'm proud of it, but at the same time, there's also no shame in it. I'm just saying, I don't have any loss that really keeps me up at night. You know what I mean? The only one that really bothered me was, the second fight with George obviously was horrible, and he was amazing. But the best remedy for that is beating somebody else up. So I remember after that, I fought Matt Hughes, and I felt good about that, even though I didn't get the nod. And then I knocked out Frank Trigg, and all my worries flushed away with him hitting the canvas.